إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهدي الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد, tonight inshallah we move to a very important section, and that is the rahan, and in English is the collateral. And also in English, the thing that is being taken as collateral is a property, it's called mortgage. So we will talk about the idea of a rahan, collateral, and what entails that, what it means, and what are the things that you can use as collateral, and more stuff and more issues related to this topic. الراهن من عقود التوثيق كالكفالة والضمان. الراهن is the same. عقود التوثيق, when we say عقود التوثيق or the contracts of توثيق, in other words we are talking about a kind of contract to guarantee your rights, and a kind of contract to guarantee your rights in getting back what belongs to you. So when someone lends you something, you take a collateral to guarantee that you're going to get your stuff back. So that is what we mean by عقود التوثيق, or the contracts of توثيق, or to guarantee getting back what belongs to you. أما الرهن في اللغة فهو الثبوت والدوام. The meaning of الرهن in Arabic, ثبوت والدوام. When something is firm and something still, the way it is, stays still, that is the meaning of الرهن. Also it can mean الحبس. كل نفس يقول الله تعالى كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة. Every soul with what it endeavors, رهينة يعني محبوسة, يعني imprisoned by what it does. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يزال الرجل في فسحة من دينه ما لم يصد دما حرامه. يعني the person or the believer still easy for him this life as long as he does not kill someone. Then it's a big responsibility, right? يعني في فسحة, and if you're not in فسحة, you're in prison. Okay, فكل نفس بما كسبت رهينة. That is in اللغة. أما اصطلاح فهو توثيقة دين معين يمكن استيفاؤه منها أو من ثمنها. The meaning in the according to the fuqaha and to the scholars of fiqh, in the religion, the meaning of الرهن is to have something to guarantee that you get back what you lent, or at least if you don't get it back, you can use this thing to sell it and get it back. That is the collateral. توثيق دين بعين, يعني بعين, to make sure that your loan is being guaranteed by عين. عين is a something. عين is something. So توثيقة دين بعين يمكن استيفاؤه منها أو بثمنها. That because of this thing you can get what you lend. Either you hold it as a hostage, if we could use the term for now, or if you don't get back your money from the person you lent or anything else you sold and he still owes you money and you have a collateral, you can sell it and get your thing. Either way. And we will talk about the details. Here we're only talking about the definition. So just to give an example, someone or a man who bought a car for $20,000, and the seller, he doesn't have all the money to pay. So the seller says, I'll give you the car, the dealer, but you get me something in collateral. You get me something that if I have it, I can guarantee that you're going to pay your money, and if you don't, then I'll sell it and I get my money. Okay? That is what we mean by الرهن, whether this thing is your house, whether this thing is something you own, property, another car, or maybe even the car itself. And we will talk about that in details, inshallah. Or in something else, another example, you go to buy something from the store and you fill gas, whatever it is, and then it's time to pay, you realize you forgot your wallet at home. Okay? Yani you did not intend to do that. Okay, and you're not lying. You did forget your wallet. تقول لصاحب المحطة يعني تترك معه شيئا يعني ساعة خاتم، تقول له أعود بالفلوس يعني بالنقود، امسك هذا كرهن. You tell him, you tell the guy in the station, the gas station, or whoever you bought from, you leave your watch, your ring, whatever you have that has value. We will talk about what you can leave, and you tell him until I get you the money. Okay? So that is the idea of الرهن. Now, can you leave your driver license? Can you leave your IDs, your passport, your car registration? All these things. Actually, the most of the ulama said no, because the thing that you can leave has to have a value. Has to have a value. You can sell. What's the point then? You can't sell a passport, but the person most probably will come back. So that's why some of the ulama said, you look at the area. If the custom and the law allow that, then there is no harm. There is no harm. But if, like Wali al-Amr or the government or the laws say, no, you cannot do that, you should not use your personal identifications, papers, your IDs, your passports, your birth certificates, all these important documents that by itself has no value. If the law says no, then you should not. Okay? So based on the area. But in general, most of the ulama said collateral or الرهن or الشيء المرهون يجب أن يكون مما يباع ويشترى. The collateral must be something that can be sold or bought. So the person who takes it, if the other person doesn't pay, he can sell it and get his money. So الأصل في الرهن الكتاب والسنة والإجماع. The dalil and the proofs that this rahin and collateral, the idea of collateral that is permissible, يعني موجودة في القرآن والسنة. You find it in the Quran, in the Sunnah, and the ijma', the consensus of the ulama of this ummah. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى: وإن كنتم على سفر ولم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوضة. If you were traveling and you don't find someone to write a loan transaction, You lend someone money, okay, and you're traveling, and you don't find someone, there is no court to go to, there's no lawyer, there is no whatever to certify this loan and to document this loan. فقول الله سبحانه وتعالى فرهان مقبوضة. So you take collateral, okay, collateral مقبوضة collected, and we will talk about what that means, collected, because of this word the ulama have different opinions. ومن السنة في حديث عائشة رضي الله عنها مات النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ودرعه مرهون عند يهودي صلى الله عليه وسلم. This man is the best of mankind. This man, the Prophet ﷺ, our messenger, the best person ever to put or make a step on the surface of this earth. And his humbleness and his rejection of the dunya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the option to have the treasures of the heavens and the earth and eternity in this dunya, and he refused. And that is when the love takes over your heart. He wanted to be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He had the opportunity to own the dunya, and he refused. Aisha radiallahu anha says, he died and his dir', his shield that he used in war to protect himself, was left as collateral with a Jewish man. And when he died, it was still with the man, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So this another dalil and proof from the sunnah that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam legitimized this transaction. والإجماع, as Ibn Qudama rahimahullah mentioned, that there is consensus amongst the ulama that الرهن مشروع. This الرهن, collateral, is permissible, is the consensus of the ulama. So we go with what المؤلف رحمه الله Ibn Qudama says. يقول وكل ما جاز بيعه جاز رهنه وما لا فلا. First part, everything that is permissible to sell and buy, everything that you can sell and buy, then you can use as rahan. You can use as rahan, as collateral. Everything that you sell and buy, you can use as collateral. And I mentioned the other exception concerning the papers, and that's what a lot of people use. I mentioned the details on that, but in general, for the most of the ulama, the collateral needs to be something that you can sell and buy. Alright? That you can sell and buy. وَمَا لَا فَلَا. And whatever you cannot sell or buy, you cannot use as collateral. Okay? Anything you can sell and buy, you can use as collateral. Other than that, you cannot. Now, can you use something haram to eat as collateral? Why not? Like alcohol.
It shouldn't be in your possession.
If you have it. طيب. So the rule is, what you cannot sell or buy, what's not permissible for you to sell or buy, you cannot use as collateral. So alcohol you can sell and buy, but you're not allowed to. So obviously it doesn't apply here. Maybe alcohol is an exaggerated or extreme example, but other things that you are not allowed, for example, maybe a lot of people will have gold plates, silver forks and spoons. They have it generation after generation. They need money. They go borrow some money and they leave it as collateral. That is not permissible. Alright? That is not. They can turn it into silver or gold and use it. But the way it is and the way it's made as utensils and as frames and all that, that is not permissible. عقد الرهن, what kind of عقد? هو جائز أم لازم? The contract of collateral, when you are involved in this transaction, is this transaction binding, or you have the right to say, I back off after you get involved, after you agree for it or to it? Any answers?
If you move off,
لازم يعني binding. Okay.
so if you're there at present and make the transaction and you move away, then it's binding. If you're still there, then it's not binding.
That's في البيع. That's in selling and buying. الرهن is not selling and buying, transaction. Okay? Selling and buying, it's binding. يعني في البيوع العقد لازم إذا حصل التفرق. If they separate or leave the area where they had the transaction, the seller and the buyer, then it's binding. The seller cannot bring it back and cannot ask for it back, and the buyer cannot bring it back unless they agree, or unless it does not meet the conditions it was sold for, like there was some cheating or ghush. But in general, it's binding when it comes to selling and buying transactions. And the rahin isn't. The rahin isn't. So we said العقود 3 types. We said عقد لازم يعني binding, عقد جائز يعني you have the option, and عقد لازم جائز. And the third is binding and you have the option. And this is what الرهن. الرهن, عقد الرهن is binding to الراهن, binding to the person who puts the thing for collateral. I borrow money from you. Let's give the example. I come to you, I borrow $1,000. You ask for collateral. I leave my watch. I don't have one, but let's assume my watch is worth almost. But the bottom line is, just the example, I leave the watch as a rahin, the collateral. For me, the one who borrowed the money, it's binding. I cannot come back and say, give me back my watch, unless I bring the money. طيب. للمرتهن, the person who is lending the money, for example, or selling or taking the collateral to protect his rights, is jaiz. He can break. يعني I lend you lend me the $1,000, you tell me I need, يعني بدي رهن، أنا أعطيك الساعة، أنت تتصل فيها بعد ساعة تقول هاي الساعة، يعني صدقتك مثلا أو سألت عنك ثقة. طيب هذا جائز. أما أنا أعطيتك الساعة وأخذت $1,000 كدين، ما بقدر أجيك بعد ساعة أقول أعطيني الساعة إلا إذا حضرت $1,000. فللراهن لازم، للمرتهن جائز. So the person who's leaving the collateral, it's mandatory, it's binding. For the person who's taking the collateral, it's jaiz. He can keep it, he can change his mind. He said, you know what, take it back. Or here's your collateral, I trust you, or I asked about you, or I don't want it. All right, it could be, the collateral could be an animal. You know what, I don't know how to take care of it. As we will give examples, take back your camel, take back your goat. I don't know how to take care of it. I don't know how to milk it. All right? So all these scenarios can happen. So from this point we see that this aqd lazim jaiz. Lazim lilrahin, binding to the person who's putting the collateral, and optional for the person who takes the collateral. قال المؤلف رحمه الله ولا يلزم إلا بالقبض. What does that mean? What that means, the contract of الرهن, the contract of collateral, becomes binding once we agree or is it binding once you collect the collateral? Very important point. In other words, to make it more applicable, I borrowed $1,000 and you say, I need a collateral. I say, my watch. طيب? Now let's say my watch at home. I say, my watch. Now, is it at that point this contract complete, or it won't be complete and I'm still free to change my mind until I bring the watch?
It's not complete until he receives the watch.
All right. هذا رأي الجمهور. يعني رأي الجمهور لا يلزم العقد إلا بالقبض. Okay? Meaning that the contract doesn't take place unless the collateral thing is being collected by the lender or the seller. That is the opinion of the majority. From this point you understand that, يعني if we go with this opinion, you understand that if you're going to put something in collateral, you need to turn it in. Cannot have it anymore, cannot use it. So I gave the example of the watch. Sometimes some people will put collateral their house. So according to this opinion, I have to give you the house, keep it until I pay you back. That's the meaning of al-rahin, if we go with this opinion. The opinion of al-Malikiyya, يعني the first is al-Hanafiyya, al-Shafi'iyya, al-Hanabila. The opinion of al-Malikiyya is no. As long as the agreement is there and agreed on what the collateral al-ayn يعني is, then the contract is through. In other words, I come, lend me $5,000, you give me, you ask for collateral, I say my car is collateral. That is fine, we agree, we write it down, we're done. But I leave with my car, because I need it. But he knows that if time comes to pay and I don't pay, he can come and take my car. But I keep the car. That is the opinion of al-Malikiyya. And looking on behind the reason of this, then we can look at the proofs and see who is supported more. And obviously, because you remember when I mentioned the ayah of al-Baqarah, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ وَلَمْ تَجِدُوا كَاتِبًا فَرِهَانٌ مَقْبُوضًا. So the opinion of Jumhur, who said you have to collect it, and you have as a borrower you have to turn it in, they said Allah says فَرِهَانٌ مَقْبُوضًا. If you're traveling and you cannot write, you cannot find someone to write your يعني to document it, then you take collateral. But then Allah says مَقْبُوضًا. مَقْبُوضًا means collected. So they said according to the ayah, يعني ظاهر الآية, what the ayah is telling us, you have to turn it in. You have الرهن, collateral, you have to give it in, give it away to the lender, to the seller, to guarantee his right. That is the opinion of al-Jumhur. And as you see, they have a point. The opinion of al-Malikiyya, they said no. They said إنما يعني جعل القبض لزيادة التوثيق. They said when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the collateral in this ayah to be collected, that is extra documentation, extra ways to preserve the rights, extra tawthiq. Got it? Because they said it would be enough if you write it. So that's what Allah says. If you can't write it, farihan, if you agree, that is enough. But if you want to give it away as well, that is extra. And that is what they said Allah means. And they use the dalil in surah, in ayat al-dayn. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى يعني Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says فإن لم تجدوا رجلين فرجل وامرأتان. Okay, ممن ترضون من الشهداء. The ayat الدين, when Allah talks about borrowing money, He said فاستشهدوا شهيدين من رجالكم فاستشهدوا شهيدين من رجالكم فإن لم تجدوا فرجل وامرأتان ممن ترضون من الشهداء أن تضل إحداهم تذكر إحداهم. The ayah. So Allah says, when you borrow and that, use 2 witnesses, 2 male witnesses. And if you can't find, then 1 man and 2 women. Now, we know, يعني يكفي شهادة ويمين. And if you get 1 witness and you swear, you give an oath, that is sufficient for it to be accepted as shahada. But the fact that Allah says shahidain يعني رجلين لزيادة التوثيق, extra documentation, extra guarantee. So from this point, the ayah in فرهان مقبوضة, extra documentation and extra proof for guarantee to collect. But you're not mandated. And Allahu A'lam, this is more fit of an opinion because it's more useful. And we said these kind of contracts is to make it easy for people. If I tell you that the collateral has to stay with me, then I might only have that house, so I end up on the street. Or that I'm only using that car, I end up not having a car to take care of my needs. Alright? So going with the opinion of al-Jumhur, it becomes difficult on most people, and the opinion of al-Malikiyya is fit, and as you see, both have proofs and both have their different understandings of the adilla, and this is the opinion of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, the second one, looking into all the proofs. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود. So another proof for the people of the second opinion, Malikiyya, that it's enough once we agree, because Allah says, "O you who believe, fulfill your promises, fulfill your contracts." So they say once we have the contract, that is sufficient. And once we agree, that should be sufficient. Well, yeah. Then when we bring the collateral into it, when you collect it, that's extra. But once I give you my word, that is binding. Alright? So that is the opinion of al-Malikiyya and where they got that from. Right. So if we understand that, then we will understand that it's really the Sharia has brought many different ways for the person to guarantee his rights. So we don't have to deal with riba, and we don't have to deal with all those kinds of unfamiliar transactions and contracts that are foreign to the deen of Islam, because people trying to guarantee their rights. And one, for example, so when we have a rahan, yani when I have collateral, then I can buy something from you and use that same thing, you use it as collateral. So this way you guarantee your right. So I sell you a house, and I tell you how you're going to pay it. You tell me I'm going to finance it. I says no problem. How do I guarantee that you're going to pay me? Then we put the house in collateral. The time you don't pay, I take the house, I sell it, and I get my money. Alright? But in other ways now, in new contracts you hear of, let's say lease to own or rent to own. Some of these contracts are permissible, but the julluha and majority of it, it's not. Rent to own, lease to own, all these contracts, and we'll talk about that when we talk about al-ijara. But why we need to refer to those? If Islam has provided us with different ways and easy ways, and they can guarantee the rights of everyone. Okay? And that is one of those الرهن. قال مؤلف والرهن أمانة عند المرتهن أو أمينه لا يضمنه إلا أن يتعدى. Now, الرهن, the collateral, if you lend me $1,000, I give you my watch. Now this watch in your possession. Okay, let's talk about lending. In the hands of the lender. If it's in your hand, or in the hand of someone who works for you, let's say, or in the hands of someone you delegate to take it from me, then you are responsible. When are you responsible? In two situations. Okay? And we'll talk about that. فيقول والرهن أمانة عند المرتهن أو أمينه لا يضمنه إلا أن يتعدى. So you are responsible في التعدي. So if you do not, two things. If you do them, then you are responsible. Other than that, you're not. Okay? Two things. One is ta'addi. And second is al-ihmal. In other words, you took my watch, your house burned. La qaddar Allah, and the watch wasn't there. Khalas. The will of Allah. Do you guarantee the watch? Now sometimes, or most of the time, the collateral is more expensive or worth more than the loan, for example. Alright? And we'll talk about what happens then. But the point is, if you lost or the collateral got damaged due to your, or you had nothing to do with it, فَلَا ضَمَانَ عَلَيْكَ. You're not responsible. You have the watch in your pocket, you're traveling, someone jumps on you and rob you. You're not, لا تضمن. You're not responsible. If you did your best, you are not responsible. So the two situations that you are responsible is تعدي أو الإهمال. تعدي أو التفريط. Okay? قال العلماء يعني تعدي فعل ما لا يجوز. تعدي is trespassing. That's the word itself, but what it means when it comes to collateral, to do something that you're not supposed to do. Okay? For example, the collateral is a car. You go and you start racing. My car is nice for racing, you take it and start racing. That is تعدي. فعل ما لا يجوز. If you do that with anything, then you will be responsible. Exactly. You have to guarantee it. You have to compensate for it. أو التفريط ترك ما يجب. تفريط is not to do what you're supposed to do. So تعدي, to do what you're not supposed to do. والتفريط, not doing what you're supposed to do. You see the difference? You see it, or are you confused? Okay. تعدي فعل ما لا يجوز. You're not supposed to do something and you do it with the collateral. Okay? Like the car example. تفريط فعل or ترك ما يجب. You're supposed to protect this car, but you didn't. How? You left the car in front of your house, the door of the car is open, the key is in. Someone came and stole it. هذا تفريط. This is negligence. Negligence means you are not doing what you're supposed to do. That is tafrit. Ta'addi, you did what you're not supposed to do. In other words, you can join both of them to be the same thing if you look from different angles. But the bottom line is, in general, you do not guarantee the collateral if it's given to you, meaning you do not compensate if it gets lost or damaged unless it's one of those two reasons. Alright? تفريط or تعدي. ولا ينتفع المرتهن بشيء منه. The next statement for the author, he said, you cannot benefit from the collateral. Who? مرتهن يعني the lender. The one that is collateral is left with cannot benefit from it, with condition, but in general he cannot benefit from it. Okay? Meaning, the collateral, I leave my watch. What's a good brand? Rolex. I leave my Rolex. Can I go and show off and wear it for your wedding? Could be fake, man. So the point is, you cannot, if I leave a collateral with you, my car cannot use it without my permission. Okay? There is one exception. Now, if you think about the rahin, why I can't use it? If you think about the rahin, you can boil it down to be a loan, isn't it? The rahin, a loan. And we said in general, if we want to go in details, we can boil it down to be a loan. And the bottom line with loan is you cannot benefit. Okay? With one exception. And that exception, إلا ما كان مركوبا أو محلوب. Unless الراهن, the collateral itself, is something that can be ridden, يعني you can ride, or محلوب, يعني you can milk, you can get milk out of. Now, something you can ride, when they talk about that, they didn't have cars then. They're talking about camels and horses and donkeys and whatever, bulls and all that. حيوانات يعني, جلكم الله. But they said, I come, you give me 1,000 riyal, you give me 1,000 riyal, بدي رهن. رهن جمل. يعني I give you my camel. Right? Let's assume that's the transaction, that's the exception they're talking. Now when you have my camel, you have to feed him. You cannot just leave him starving, right? You have to give him food, hay, whatever it is. So, because you are supplying this camel with water and food, that has value. You are entitled to use him with that value, or to milk him with that value. Got it? That's the only exception. Now the pay that you are getting, which is using him, or the benefit, is not because it's a collateral, but because you are taking care of it. So it has nothing to do with the collateral. طيب? Clear? Now, can I take this example and apply it to the car? يعني هل قياس؟ Huh?
No.
Why?
Or you take it to the shop, yes, taking care of it.
Okay. That's if you're using it. You see, we cannot apply it to cars today because you can leave the car. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to give it gas if it's not running. You don't have to change oil. So the car will survive. But when they talked about animals, they said because someone got to feed them. Now, in other hands, if the borrower, like me, I tell you, here's my camel, I will come every day and bring food and drink for it. Now, at this instance, the murtahin or the lender cannot use it or take from its milk. We'll talk about that. Alright? So that is the only situation when you have to take care of it, and that is, maybe it's not very applicable to us here in Florida. Unless الراهن gives you the permission. يعني obviously you can, I tell you, here's my watch as collateral. If you like to use it, go ahead. Alright? If you like to use it, use it. There's my car. You want to use it, use it. But if I damage it, then I'm responsible. Alright. قال المؤلف وللراهن غنمه من غلته وكسبه ونماه لكن يكون رهنا معه وعليه غرمه من مؤونته ومخزنه وكفنه إن مات وللراهن غنمه. Alright. Now, if I give you my collateral is my shop, my store. The store, the business. But this business, I still come every day to work in it and all that. The production and whatever the store brings, the production of it, the profits of it, belongs to who?
The owner of the store.
The owner of the store. However, it stays as part of the collateral until it's resolved. In other words, give you my camel and gets pregnant somehow. Gives birth. That baby camel stays with the mother, stays with the collateral, but it belongs to the original owner. Stays with it, cannot be separated. وعليه غرمه من مؤونته ومخزنه وكفنه إن مات. الراهن, also rahin, or the person who owns the original owner, is the responsible about everything. And if this camel dies, as the brother asked, without any tafrit or ta'addi from al-murtahin or from the lender, without any negligence or with any abuse, then who's responsible? The owner. Now why they say kafan? Do we make kafan for camels? Make janazah? Why they say kafan?
Maybe it has something to do with the slaves.
صح. If the collateral is a slave and they had slavery, they can use the collateral as a slave. Actually, Ibn Qudam mentioned about those rules, but we don't need to talk about them. They're not relative. Now, what if a slave, if you put a collateral as an animal or a slave and he dies, does that mean Murtahin loses his rights? And the lender, that's it, there is nothing collateral there anymore. Does he lose his rights?
No.
No. He still can ask for his rights. وإذا, actually one of the issues they mention is I put my slave as collateral, and then I go 2 days later and I say you're free. يعني I free him. يعتق. هذا يعني الاعتاق ماضي. Freeing him will go through. The slave is free now. And he leaves. But I'm still responsible to compensate. Alright? Very important. وإذا حل الدين فلم يوفه الراهن بيع ووفي الحق من ثمنه وباقيه للراهن. Now, it's time to pay. So in other words, let's just summarize everything we said. First, the collateral has to be something you can buy and sell. Second, I will put a collateral for you, the lender, to guarantee your rights that I will pay you back. If I don't pay you back, you can take care of the collateral to get your money back. So now what do we do? Now it's money due. I borrowed $1,000, I left my watch, I told you I'll pay you at the end of the month, keep the watch. And when I pay you, you give me back my watch. The end of the month comes, I didn't show up. I don't show up. So what is the procedure now and what does the Sharia says. يقول إذا حل الدين فلم يوفه الراهن بيع ووفي الحق من ثمنه وباقيه للراهن. Time comes, the end of the month, I have to come and pay you the $1,000 to take my watch. I don't show up. You call me, I don't answer. You call me, I answer, and then I say I can't pay it, or I'm not going to pay you. Now you have the right to sell that watch. Okay? You sell that watch, you get your money back. Now what if the watch is more than the loan? يعني I owe you $1,000 and the watch is $2,000 or $1,500. You sell it for $1,500, you take your $1,000 and you return my $500. في الجاهلية wasn't like that. In Jahiliyyah, before Islam, was they would sell the collateral and keep the whole thing. Okay? الجاهلية إذا باع الراهن احتفظ بجميع المال ولا يرد الفرق للراهن. في الإسلام لا، تبقي عندك قيمة الدين، ترجع الباقي لصاحبه للراهن. يعني
The Ryan disappear.
يعني you complicate everything. What you mean disappear? If the time of paying the loan comes and it's due, then you have the right to sell it. All right? Disappear or not disappear. If you want to do maybe he's in a situation, you can wait. That is your choice, as we said. You have that choice. بيع ووفي الحق من ثمنه وباقيه للراهن كما قلنا. وإذا شرط الرهن أو الضمين في بيع فأبى الراهن أن يسلم وأبى الضمين أن يضمن خير البائع بين الفسخ أو إقامته بلا رهن ولا ضمين. Okay. يعني I come to you and I want to buy this bottle of water. You say I will sell it to you with condition, one condition. That is to bring me a collateral or to bring me a guarantor, ضمين. يعني to bring, either you bring me someone who gonna say if the brother doesn't pay for it in 2 weeks, I'll pay for it. That is the guarantor, as we talked about. Or you say, or you bring me a collateral. That means for this bottle of water, you have to bring me one of your whatever the situation. Yeah, you bring me your watch. Again, back to the watch. All right, this watch been abused. But the point is, if the seller or the lender ask for kafil, يعني ضمين, or for rahin, and you say I accept, you are the buyer or the borrower, you say I accept, then you go to brother Muhammad and you tell him, this seller asked me for kafil and I want you to be my kafil. Muhammad knows that you are the worst guy to guarantee. He says I can't, or he has his own reasons. He said I can't, so now you don't have kafil. Okay, or you tell him I will bring you, he tells you I sell you this if you bring me a collateral, your car. Okay, you go home, your wife destroyed your car, damaged your car, someone hit your car, someone stole your car, whatever the situation is, you don't have the car. Okay, what happens? He said فأبى الراهن أن يسلم وأبى الضمين أن يضمن خير البائع بين الفسخ أو إقامته بلا رهن ولا ضمان. Then in this situation, now remember, we already sold, but the seller is waiting on the guarantor or the collateral. He already lent, the lender waiting on the collateral or the guarantor. He can't bring a guarantor, or he cannot bring collateral. Then the seller has the right to invalidate this contract. That's one option. His other option is to say, you know what, forget about it. Let's proceed. I don't want a guarantor. Or if he asks for collateral, I don't want collateral. So in other words, it's all up to the seller or the lender. So إذا سأل ضامن أو ضمين يعني البائع سأل أراد ضمين أو أراد رهن والمشتري قال أوافق أو يعني الدائن فلم يحضر الضمين ولم يحضر الدين الرهن أو أبى يعني بعد ما أخذ النقود قال ما عنديش رهن ما في رهن ما في ضمين بلط البحر أوكي البائع له الحق أن يفسخ العقد أي لأنه شرط من شروط العقد تحضر الضمين أو الرهن إذا ما وفيت بأحدها بطل العقد إذا الحق أنه يفسخ وله الحق أن يمضي العقد يعني يقول خلاص لا أريد ضمين ولا أريد رهن نكمل البيع نكمل الدين طيب واضحة يعني لكن the bottom line is the seller or the lender if he puts the condition of a collateral or of a guarantor and the borrower agrees then he doesn't follow through with it then the seller or the lender has the right to cancel this contract. Some of the issues that Ibn Qudama did not discuss, we will discuss على عجال إن شاء الله very quick. أخذ رهن على القرض. Can I, and very much this is answered because I use the term lending over and over and over. Can I lend you money and take a collateral? Yes. With one condition. What is that? Huh? لا. Seller. There's no seller here. Yeah, we agree on that. But concerning القرض, يعني can I take collateral for a loan? I lend you $100,000, and I ask for a collateral. Do I have the right to do that? Yes, with the conditions we talked about. But there's a specific condition with this. Yes. فتح الله عليك. Because it's qard and it's a loan, I cannot put the condition as a lender, يعني asking for the collateral. I cannot put the condition that I can use it. And I cannot ask the lender if I could use it. We said in other things you can. We said in other things you can if you have the permission. Or if it's cow or animal that you're herding, you're taking care of. But if it's a loan, I cannot ask for that because كل دين أو قرض جر منفعة فهو ربا. Because every loan that brings benefit along with it, for the borrower, it's considered riba. Alright, so this is the condition. You need to pay attention to that. رهن المشاع يعني if I'm a partner in a land or a house, I have 50%, I have a partner who has 50%, or a business. Can I go and do a transaction and put my half into collateral, or I can't? I can? No, can I put that half?
Yeah, it's yours.
طيب جائز. There's no problem with that. Okay? And there's the issue of the partner has the priority to buy. We'll talk about that. Okay? But it's permissible. So what? الأسهم. What's the meaning of الأسهم? Shares, stocks, whatever. Shares. I have shares in Pepsi. Can I put them as collateral?
No, you can.
I can?
No, you can't,
No.
because they go up and down.
You change the value.
Go what?
Go up, the price go up.
Yeah,
No, you
Okay.
can't.
If it transfer, it fluctuates.
Okay, anything fluctuate. If I give you my car, if we say I'll pay you in a year, and you take my car as collateral, my year is 2000, my car is 2000. Next year, it's going to be 1 year older. The value will drop, isn't it? Can you sell and buy shares? Can you? Khalas.
The car value cannot go up,
It can go down.
but it cannot go up.
So what is the restriction that something can go down but cannot go up?
Go up high.
That's fine, but the bottom line is, at the end, the lender gonna have to get his money, whether it goes up or down. You know? So it has nothing to do with that. Yes, there's no problem with that. Another thing, someone might want to lend you money and asks, let's write a paper. You get offended. You don't trust me? I don't want it. Or stuff like, and you hear people feel like we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to do it. It's not wajib, we don't say it's a must, but we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recommended that you do it. For everyone, because this is life and death. يعني انسى مسألة الثقة. مسألة حياة وموت. طيب أنا مديون لك ب$1000. أنا مت. تأتي على الورثة يا أولاد الحلال والدكم كان مديونا لي ب$1000. لا، وين الدليل؟ وين الورقة؟ فأنت في قبرك مرهون بها. So forget about the issue of trust only. We write it just for you. Imagine you owe someone $1,000, you didn't write it, and you die. Then he comes to your heirs and to the people you leave your money with, your family, and he said, your father owes me $1,000. They tell you, where's your proof? No proof, because it was a word of mouth. Get away. Then I am stuck in my grave because of this $1,000, isn't it? Then the Prophet didn't even pray on a person who was in debt. So very important that we write it down for many, many benefits. قل الله سبحانه وتعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه. Or you who believe, if you lend or borrow or whatever, there's a loan transaction to a certain period of time, write it. Write it down. واستشهدوا شهيدين من رجال, and take witnesses. Okay? That's, you don't want to write it? Bring 2 witnesses. What's the chance that all of them gonna die? Bring witnesses. Write it down as well. وإن كنتم على سفر ولم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوض. If you're traveling and you borrow, then take rihan, collateral, to guarantee everyone's right. Yeah.
If you lend me $1,000 and I don't have the money in the bank, can I give you a check for that $1,000?
Check. In the issues of a rahn. Now this check, we don't consider it rahn. It's not a collateral. Remember, because the collateral is, if I ask for it.
Something you could buy and sell.
Something buy and sell, but also something to guarantee I get my money back. So not everything that I will guarantee to get my money back, we're going to call collateral. So with the issue of the check, can I sell check or buy check? If the check is $1,000, can I sell it for $900? It's riba. So we go here from different. Very much the check will be a form of document. Alright? It's more of a document rather than collateral or rahn. Got it? But yes, you can do that if you agree. If that is the agreement, that is fine, inshallah. Yani when I talked about the IDs and passports, is it haram? It's not. But it's not the way to guarantee your rights. Because I can leave you my driver license and go get another one for 20 bucks. 25? Now it's more? Alright. Okay? So this is the way. Islam came to preserve the person's rights. So that's why it's not recommended. But is it haram? No one will say it's haram unless there is violation of wali al-amr or violation of the law or all that. Then it's haram from different لغيره يعني. Haram for different issues, different reason. Can يعني the person who has the collateral in his hand, can he benefit from it for the reason that he's taking care of it? Yes, but that's not what I mean by taking care of it, because he's, let's say it's a car, he's putting it in his garage. Because it's a watch, he's keeping it in his safe. Why not?
Because
for storage, if we can use the word storage.
There's no hardship on him, number one, and then he has the safe, but he put it in the safe.
Huh?
He's not using any strength or any energy to look after it.
It's used to be responsible.
Money on it, then
If you had expenses.
If there's an expense. There's no expense.
No expenses.
But for storage. No, in his house. I mean, not everything needs storage. One of those. It's a watch. He's keeping it in his house. He's protecting it. Can he get paid for guarding the watch?
it's not costing anything to him.
All right. طيب. يعني all your answers are good, but the answer is no. But the main reason is because it's his responsibility. You said that? طيب يلا. Because it's he asked for collateral, then it becomes part of his responsibility to take care of it. So how you can ask to be paid for fulfilling your responsibility? Like someone asking to be paid for taking care of his kids. Alright? So that is why the answer is no. Okay, so inshallah that's what I want to speak about, and we'll continue next time. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.